All right, welcome back to the show. I had to do a video on this because BladeHQ is running a deal for $59.99 right now on this Elementum. It's Tanto, which isn't necessarily for everyone, but with the natural G10 handles and S35VN. And I don't know, I challenge you to tell us, is there a better deal on a EDC-ish S35VN knife? So we're going to get this opened up. I also have the Elementum in the D2 with the green micarta scales. Love the drop point on this. Love the overall feel. This is kind of, again, one of those knives that got me back into this game, so there's a little bit of a special place for me here. But ooh, S35VN. Had to take a look at this and see what we got. So let's get it opened up, and I'll probably pull out a whole bunch of other Civivis today and we can take a look at them as well, because I just think their fit and finish and what they do for the price that they do under this entire Civivi, this whole banner and conglomerate is amazing. You get all the good stuff here. We won't get into it, but Civivi's going to give you the package and I've got a couple of these now, but the cleaners and stuff. So look at that. First, a pretty nice G10 right there, where you can see some translucence, like you can actually see some of the mech in there, which is pretty cool. That is pretty neat. I wonder if I can figure out a way to throw a flashlight on that or something real quick. Let's see if this works. So, yeah, pretty cool. You can actually really see the internals when you get some really good light on that thing. That is cool. So, what do we got? Whoa, right out of the box. Perfect, which is what we've come to expect for this kind of, this fit and finish is what we've come to expect with We, Civivi, and the family. Really nice looking Tanto. Like, again, that's not really my style. Like, I find this to be a more usable blade, but, for a lot of reasons, you could use this very effectively. You get really get almost like two different knives, right? In terms of how you can use this. And pretty straightforward, guys. Liner lock. Like this one, I'm getting just phenomenal action right out of the package. I don't know what more to say about that, but I did find I got some like inconsistent fires on my more basic Elementum. And funny thing is, I didn't really get any discount on this one, so I basically paid the same amount for a D2 Elementum with micarta, and maybe the micarta is like a couple bucks more expensive than the G10, but you're talking like $2 or something. So I don't know what the MSRP was on this. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. It was at $93.50, and BladeHQ has it on sale right now for that $59. That's S35VN steel. That's good stuff. You've probably seen in some of the other videos, this is pretty worn out from whittling and doing other things with it. But let's take a look at our newspaper performance with S35VN. I'm not impressed so far. Might be going on the wrong side of the newspaper here, but yeah, not super slicey out of the package. That was a little too much work. By comparison, let me grab another one that was probably one of the sliciest knives I've ever gotten out of the package, and that is this Badlands carbon fiber with Damascus that I have, and it just came super sharp from the factory. Another Civivi knife, also just really nice action from the factory. What I do like about the Badlands here is it does have the thumb studs as well, This is the Badlands Vagabond, and let me get this newspaper out of here so you can really see what we got going on here. But that is a nice looking handle. Oops, of course I messed that up. And a pretty freaking cool Damascus blade. And this thing came insanely impressive. Of course I say that and then I go to do this, but yeah, no, I mean, look at the difference there. That is newspaper. Like, that is crazy. Versus, you know, and granted, blade types make a big difference and stuff. You're not expecting every blade type to do the same things. These are definitely different, and that's fine. But, you know, they're not that different in size. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see what performance difference we're getting there. It's definitely not as good. That'd be more like what I'd expect from this blunted D2 that I'm overdue for sharpening. You know, the company just makes really nice knives with really nice fit and finish at a really nice price. As someone that has a lot more expensive knives, Chris Reeve, the Demco that's in my pocket right now is, you know, twice as expensive as anything on the table, and deservedly so, with its best in class, in my opinion, locking mechanism. But Civivi just does some really nice stuff. This is their Nitro V, and like you can see this like carbon golden fleck on the Imperium. So this is the shredded carbon fiber and gold shred, and a Nitro V blade. Really, I think that's, you know, this is a very different size, for instance, than the Elementum. You're getting a longer handle, longer blade. But again, coming back, I feel like this is one of those ones that, I have another piece here that kind of comes sharp when you get it delivered. So let's take a look. Yeah, definitely better. So, you know, I don't know, maybe when they put the Elementums together, they're not thinking that the whole point is to, you know, have the sliciest, highest performing edge. Maybe they're prioritizing not putting people into the hospital. And I mean, you can definitely see, right, there's just not, it's not the most impressive grind. Let me get a good focus here. You know, by comparison to some other knives in terms of how they come from the factory, you can see right away the difference on the Demco, which just comes with a freaking beautiful grind from the factory by comparison, and performs as such. If you haven't seen one of those videos, because this is one of your first times coming to the channel, yeah, these things come in a much thicker blade, by the way. Just amazing what that knife does from the factory, and I've never sharpened that, and I've used it a few times, and still outperforms these other ones out of box. But look, at $59, learn how to sharpen on it, throw it in the dirt, do whatever you're gonna do with it, stick it in a glove box, or, you know, EDC it. They have a nice clip. Like, I have no complaints about the carry clip on this knife, which is something I have complained about on the Demco for sure. I don't understand how something like that ends up on a knife. It's almost like someone never QA'd it. And like, who cares? 15 bucks later, I got what I need off of eBay, maybe 10 bucks if you want to get it from China and wait an extra couple weeks. But it's a nice all-around knife. Like, the size of this is a tiny bit small, tiny bit small for me. But if you choke up on it, do one of these, you know, it's definitely like a fourth finger hanging. It's kind of, I mean, it's just kind of weird to me to have a Tanto blade on like an EDC, like tiny knife, to be honest, because I just feel like you end up with like less usable surface in a way. You know, you're going to probably add some great comments in the comment section here about how I just don't know how to use the knife properly and how a Tanto blade is supposed to be used. So please do, because I'd love to learn more about that. I just find this type of blade like to be a little more functional for me personally. So semi. The other thing that kind of comes to mind when I saw this was just, I didn't have like a G10 with that kind of finish. Where's one of my go-to G10s? Here we go. Very good comparable. And one of my favorite knives, like all around. Of course, I was gonna say like, and one of the easiest to open, and then I missed the flick there with the thumb stud. But what I found is I actually flick this thumb stud and finger flick it in different ways than with other knives, just due to the size, and get a different result based on that. But do find this to be one of my favorite all around knives. Let's throw that right in between. And it's actually a very comparable knife. I actually think the Elementum length is a little nicer, but the girth on the We Banter is a little better. Do find this Imperium to be quite nice in hand there. There's no complaint on the Imperium. So if you haven't checked that out, it's a slightly bigger than 3-inch blade, I believe, but you know, it's not quite the EDC focus maybe of the others, but certainly there are people that EDC with much bigger knives than this, and your friends will certainly ask you about that amazing Damascus finish on there. That is just a pretty one. So, gosh, for 59 bucks, do you buy it? I think so. Especially if you like don't have a Tanto and you want to go figure it out, kind of how I am. I have a Tanto in Cozy, and that's like a total safe queen. So, you know, I don't think I'm going to use it too much. Although, of course, you can use a Chris Reeve in Cozy as an EDC and as a user, and that's what they're designed for. I kind of got this as like something I can go beat up, and just I almost forget when I look at it, because I'm just like, oh, it's $59 knife. It's really a $93 knife that's on sale right now at BladeHQ for $59, but that is a S35VN steel. So like very, very high-end steel. You know, this We Banter by comparison, you're looking at 108 bucks in that configuration. So almost twice the price. Twice the price of that would be 118. So like, is this twice as good of a knife as that? They're different. Depends kind of when you want to, whether you like doing light switches or thumb studs, I guess. I find like this knife shape, this blade shape, and this drop point is just much more functional. Is that a drop point or a spear point? I feel like I've just gone through this recently. I think it's a drop point, but now I'm getting caught on my heels there. I think it's a drop point, but it is not as obvious of a drop point as something like that, where it's very clearly different on the top than on the bottom. That is, yeah, it's a drop point. I can see now where it, I'm gonna double check that. But, you know, in the Tanto blade, S35VN, it's an amazing deal. And you really can't go wrong with it. Sorry, I think I've been out of focus this whole time. So check it out, bladehq.com. I'll throw the link in the description of the video. This is just one of those companies that you should own a little something from, just because they do such good value knives. You know, have something, throw it in the toolbox, use it as your EDC and never look back, and, you know, save a bunch of money versus me and the people like me that get addicted to this stuff. But at that price, I had to grab one for myself, and would love you to also realize the value. Let's get this back in the middle. You can see how I'm gravitating here towards more of my style knife, but yeah, this is a really cool opportunity, I feel like, to get a good high value knife in an S35VN. And you know, if you don't know a lot about it, check out knifeinformer.com. They have an amazing article about blade steel, knife steel, and the benefits from anti-corrosion to edge retention to hardness to toughness. And S35VN consistently is one of the most well-balanced steels really now until now, with like, you know, M390 and 20 CV would be better, but more expensive. And, you know, S45VN is now out in Magna Cut. You know, aside from that, this was for a long time what all the most high-end knives were coming in. So $59. I just can't get over that. I don't know that there's, I'm sure there are other knives out there in that, but like, do you get the, you know, bearing, runs on bearings, fit and finish of a Civivi for 59 bucks? I really like the jimping on these. Liked it on my drop point one with the micarta. Like it on this one. Like, that is just a cool value. So that's what the video's on. I've done a lot of high-end knives. I'm going to start doing a series of more value knives. I've, you know, got a pretty good history of those. Here's some that I got like back in the day, you know, cheapo stainless Chinese steel knives that I've, you know, done for years. And you know, here's a Remington that'd be kind of a similar, I'm sorry, this is a Smith & Wesson HRT. Had the Remington on another video. But yeah, I mean, these, you know, the ability to go out and spend the right amount of money for your budget, or, you know, feel like you're getting good value, I think is a real important thing in knives. This is a tool at the end of the day, and for a lot of folks out there, this could be a really good option for a knife that could potentially last you, you know, I don't want to say a lifetime, but I guess a lifetime. You know, if you treat it right and stuff, and learn how to sharpen correctly, and, you know, do servicing, yeah, why not? You know, for 59 bucks, there's not a lot of knives you could say that about. So check it out. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, correct things that I said wrong, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.